Hey there, my name is Cole Adams, and you are watching the best college basketball podcast out there that covers the entire sport of college basketball, brackets, bubbles, and bid stealers. Now, here are your hosts, Sam Fetterman and Jonathan Lidskin.
Season 6, episode 81 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers. I am Sam Fetterman. That is Jonathan Lidskin. Jonathan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great, Sam. We just
And
watched
that is Bubble of the Year, Michael DeRosa.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, friends. How you doing?
Jonathan, continue on how you're doing. And then, actually, no, DeRosa, how are you doing?
If we had done this on Saturday, I would have been on mega tilt. I'm not going to lie. I was tilted as hell on Saturday. So I'm glad we're here. I'm doing well. Jonathan, I hope you're doing well as well, but I'm not going to really care. Sam, how you doing?
I'm good. I think that was one of the best college basketball games I've watched all year, the Arizona-Kansas game. And also the Chicago State-St. Francis game was great today.
I think...
No, I watched a lot of great games. St. John Xavier, Belmont Bradley, Arizona, Kansas. They're high energy games today. And then we finished it with what might be game of the year in the sport. There's a lot of contenders for game of the year, but this one.
I wouldn't call Northern Iowa Murray State as currently going on the game of the year. I mean, Jonathan's
no.
We'll let him give his take. But
that game has not been close. But we will talk about Arizona, Kansas. Let's start right there. No more undefeated power conference teams. There's one undefeated team remaining, and it's the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. We'll talk plenty about them, I'm sure, for the rest of the year. Kansas 82, Arizona 78. Arizona, this was the first time, in my opinion, all year that I think their front court got straight up outplayed and out-toughed. And they still have not been out rebounded all season. Arizona was 45-41 on the glass in this game. But I thought that Kansas's front court took it to them, specifically in the second half. Flory Badunga was the best player on the floor in this game.
Michael, you start.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Just please, this is my podcast, not yours. That block he had late in the game was tremendous. Flory was excellent. I mean, of course the alley-oop he caught 2 over Krivas. Like that was kind of that to me was the play that like completely switched the momentum. We did mention it. Flory was terrific in this game. Like you mentioned it. If we would have talked about this game on Saturday, I would have said, yeah, I think Flory will do enough to hold his own, and then the guards will just have to go off for Kansas if they want to win this. And I was going to pick Kansas, and then guard didn't play, and it still didn't matter because Flory was just phenomenal. He really controlled this game in the second half, and I honestly thought Krivas played a pretty good game too. I mean, offensively he was meh, but he had did he end with 6 blocks?
He was great in the first half. Yeah. And I think in the second half, he had a couple blocks that had me thinking Kansas was out of energy and Arizona was going to pull away. And then I think he was invisible the last 10 minutes of the game.
He got dunked on and then everything changed. Why is Krivas crying? Because he just got dunked on. I ain't even lying. No, he just got dunked on. And that was the game changer.
Yeah, I think Krivas just kind of disappeared late in the game because Kansas packed it in and was going to force Arizona to beat them with the penetration and beyond the arc. They didn't want to let them get passes into Krivas. They didn't want to get passes into anyone really. And you saw Arizona's offense kind of shrivel up a little bit in those spots. Arizona's offense didn't get the easy looks inside. They had to finish over 2 or 3 defenders. There were multiple times in this game where you saw Krivas' man down low. You saw the guy that was being guarded by the guy who was guarding the guy with the ball, and you saw another help defender come in. So you got 3 defenders guarding the paint, guarding your shot, and it's tough to finish over 3 guys. It's how Arizona only 45% inside the arc today. They are 57% on the season, which is near the top of the Big 12. Barry's hit some big shots. Jaden Bradley was struggled for most of this game, just did not have his best stuff. I thought Karchenkov was incredible for a lot of this game for Arizona, but didn't have enough. Koa Pete, though, this has kind of been a thing that we haven't talked a ton about, but he has not played a game better than the Florida game. And he's not played a game remotely close to as good as the Florida game since the Florida game. He has been very good through most of the year. Tonight, he was not good.
Yeah, he struggled with the physicality of that game. Like, did not absorb contact well, was not finishing at the rim, and like that was like probably some of the weaknesses that were that he put on tape in high school, and like they came to fruition tonight. I think, Sam, that like I don't want to sound like the know it all, like I told you so, because I'm not, but I feel like I've been waiting all year for Arizona to play a team like this that can match physicality inside. And granted, there are very few teams that can do it, but Kansas.
I didn't think Kansas could do it for 40 minutes, and they ended up doing it.
And then, they go there, they're going under ball screens. Like, Bradley just had no answers, like you said. Pete was simply not good enough. I thought, Braden Berries was quite easily their best player tonight, and he has been in the last 3 weeks. Going forward, I don't think that's a terrible recipe for Arizona, but like, I don't think them shooting this few threes and like just physically dominating teams inside was going to be like the recipe to just like lap everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to lose games. That's what happens in college basketball. You go on the road and you play difficult games, but I do think that this doesn't impact the way I feel about Arizona like at all. They went to Allen Fieldhouse. They were up by 11 in the second half of this game, and they had their chances to win it, and they didn't. That is something. I thought that their late game offense was bad in terms of they started chucking up early shots in the shot clock. That's just not who they are. They're not an early 3-point team. Like if you can get in the paint, they'll take it early. But their threes usually kind of come off of come later in possessions or off of screens when they do set them. And I think that some of the threes that they took late in this game were ill-advised early shot clock threes that they didn't need to take. Or, I mean, Pete took one in the second half. It's like, no, don't do that.
Even Fran on the broadcast was like, that's not his game, as the shots are just flat.
Yeah, it's just a line drive right at the front of the rim.
I love Fran.
He's good.
No, Fran is probably the best color guy in the game right now.
I love that like every Big 12 fan despises him. It like makes me like him even more.
He just knows he's so good with the Big 12. It's
also this is like a complete, and Sam, you might understand this better than DeRosa, but my friend Adam Busak originally came up with like it's like kind of a bit, kind of not. That like John Shambi during basketball season goes by John, and during baseball season he goes by Boog.
Okay.
Just wanted to point that out. I do.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was a punchline there. Like
I thought it was very funny when he originally came up with that. But yeah,
I mean, you're not wrong. I was just waiting for a punchline. It's not really helping us.
I think Fran is generally good. I think like the criticism he gets is probably just because like because he tends to like fixate on calls.
Yeah.
But I think just the way that he's so dialed into the Big 12 and all of the storylines of the conference and all of the players in the conference. He has such an understanding of all the strengths and weaknesses that he knows what he's looking at with the Big 12. And I love when they have like a guy that he like, if it's a Big 12 game, it's going to be Fran. Like it's not going to like, if it's a Big 12 game, you're getting Fran no matter what.
And
like
one thing
he might not be the number one guy for ESPN, but if it's number one versus number two and it's a Big 12 game, he's getting it.
Sam, can I get some acknowledgement here from you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I personally guaranteed a Kansas win the other day.
Yeah, I mean,
they were without their best player and they still won.
We'll get into the Darren Peterson stuff later, but I still want to talk about this game as a whole.
I just want to
thought
say about Fran,
Kansas's
just so I can actually
energy.
get it out.
Go-
One
go
thing I really
Dorinda.
like about Fran is that he is like one of the few like main like top tier commentators who will just see something online and then just shout it out. It's like, yeah, like he shouted out CBB Analytics in this one for saying
Yeah,
that.
I heard that.
Yeah, the combo of Council to Floor instant lobs. Like he's one of those guys who's actually online and like looking to like learn more from like the Evan Mayas, the CBB Analytics of this and then that, versus Jay Williams is out there just
Doing a Tar Heels chant.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I thought that Bryson Tiller in the first half was electric. Gave them so much. I think he's an NBA player with his versatility. Both sides of the ball, can shoot the three, can cut really well, has a good understanding of where he needs to be. And I think he's got a little more skill as a dribbler and passer than we've seen this year, and they just don't show it because he doesn't need to. I think it's kind of hiding within his game, and if he comes back another year, you'll see it a lot more. But Tiller was and he's got versatility on the defensive side of the ball too, so I think he was awesome. But Kansas's overall energy in the first half was so high level. They were playing like they could run through a wall, and Allen Fieldhouse is like that. And they were down. They went down by 7, and I was like, man, Kansas is doing all of this energy wise and physically to be down by 7 to Arizona and immediately 7-0 run to tie the game.
Yeah. And what was strange about it was like Allen Fieldhouse, like if you get beat by Allen Fieldhouse, it's usually in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yep.
And like that wasn't the case tonight.
And it's either that or like a voodoo call or something, or like a voodoo comeback or something. That wasn't what this was. This was Kansas kind of kept feeding off the energy from the building throughout the game and played a full 40 minutes.
I can't believe Kansas scored 1.1 points per possession against these guys, with one of their leading scorers scoring 23 on 26 shots, whatever it was. 25.
He took 26 shots, only had 23 points. I thought he was.
I know the numbers.
I still thought he was really good.
Yeah. Like Council's 6 for 25 in this game. Like I thought he was awesome. Like he was getting Kansas out in transition a ton. He was breaking the first line of the Arizona defense, getting into the paint. They got paint touches. Arizona's a team that wins in the paint a lot, and I thought Kansas won in the paint today, and they were getting in the paint because Melvin Council was getting in the paint.
Yep.
I know, Jonathan, we talked about Barry's offensively. I think Barry's did not have a good defensive game today. I think he got blown by.
I don't think he's a good defender, period.
I think he's blown by a couple of times.
I think he's a phenomenal offensive player. I don't think he's a good defender, though.
Yeah, I mean, Amarco and McDowell gave some really solid minutes, in my opinion. Kind of saw some ball handling stuff from Marco today. That when they took Melvin off the ball for a couple of possessions and they needed to, but Council's ability to, 2 years ago at Wagner, Melvin was kind of just a straight up and down the floor, vertical, fastest. Like, I'm going to beat you because I'm the fastest guy on the court. And he was the fastest guy on the court, and he was the fastest guy in the league. He has grown so much in his ability to kind of parse through and work with a ball screen and work around whatever coverage is being used. I think that there was a play in this game kind of late where they set a ball screen for him on the left wing, and they trapped the ball screen, and he just calmly dribbled, zigged his way to shed the off defender and get himself a one-on-one with Krivas facing the basket. And that was something that
I remember the play you're talking
ago.
about.
He didn't really have the patience. He didn't really have the patience and readability to do that at a high level in a high-level game. In this game, he showed that multiple times over, where he would find the right mismatch when Arizona sent a double off of the screen and find a way to kind of work his way into the paint.
I remember the play you're talking about, and I thought Arizona should have tried to hold the trap for longer. Like they did, I thought they did a good job getting him into a tough spot there. There were two instances like that. One, that one, and two, with about like 27 seconds left, I think like Arizona was pressing, and like they had to foul, you know,
And they got him trapped and he fouled.
and they had him trapped, and like Koa committed a foul.
Yeah, and then like it was just like an immediate like swing down, like the very obvious one of like I'm intentionally foul. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad foul. They should not have done it in that spot. And
yeah, they
I
had,
think
like, you
Arizona
had him along the sideline too. You had like him pretty much boxed in the sideline. Yeah, it was a perfect trap. They just fouled way too early.
And like this is like the possession either before or two possessions before, like Kansas like couldn't get the ball on and threw it away.
Yeah, because they threw the inbound like across the body and it went off McDowell's fingertips. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that Flory block as well. You've got, I mean, he gets blown by, but his arms are so long and he's fast enough to the point where he can recover, even when he's blown by, to still be just like a half step behind the guard. And his arms are so long to the point where he can make that block. And I also want to credit Melvin Council on that play for kind of standing for like forcing Berries to not be able to just go like straight to the rim, kind of give him a little bit of an off angle that allowed Flory to make the block, and then for also like landing his foot in the right spot and grabbing the ball.
Yeah.
Because you'll see blocks like that all the time, and it just goes out of bounds and it's just Arizona ball.
Yep.
Council was right on the ball.
Another Melvin Council set I'm just looking at now is just going through his KenPom page of the last 3 years. You mentioned he was at Wagner. He played in conference play. He played 96.6% of the minutes, led the conference. Last year when he was at St. Bonaventure, he played 98.2% of their minutes, led the conference. Today, he gave you a full 40 minutes. He is playing 89% of the minutes on the season, 5th in the Big 12. I mean, availability is a skill. It is an ability, and
that Wagner team.
All times.
That Wagner team was down to 6 scholarship guys available by the end of the season. It was unbelievable that they they won 3 straight road games to win the NEC tournament. Just ridiculous.
And you can tell that a kid like Melvin Council was a part of that because he is tougher than a $2 steak. You were not breaking that kid. It just doesn't happen. He's tough.
No, he's tough. He's got that in him.
And like
he's changed, and I think it was somebody said that like Melvin Council has changed the energy around this Kansas team, and then Woj came in the replies. He's like, Melvin's done that 2 years in a row, and then I replied to that. And it's like, no, it's 3 years in a row.
I like.
I mean, I didn't watch him at Monroe College, the JUCO or whatever JUCO he was at, but it could be 4 years in a row. I don't know.
I like how, Kansas obviously, like, they said post game that like Kansas was like 50-50 that DP was going to play tonight. But even that, like, I like how they come into this game without him, and Melvin just knows it's his team now.
Yeah.
Like he's the one running the show, and like I don't think Kansas wins a game like this if that's not the case.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Not even close. Like the fact that they have this amount of experience playing without playing without Darren Peterson. Like they've figured out who they are without Darren Peterson, and they've also figured out who they are with Darren Peterson. So I do think that they're a really, really good team without him at this point in time. I mean, they went to Kansas State and won by 25 without him. They played that second half against BYU without him, and they kind of got beaten that second half, but they were able to hold on and grab the win. They played the entire Players era without him and went 3-0. They've played a lot without him.
I think part of it is that like they understand like who like that Melvin is a go-to guy.
Yep.
Like even with DP in there, like he can be a go-to guy. He closed out the NC State game for them too.
Yeah,
he didn't just close that. He was the guy the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that still accounts for like a third of his threes on the season.
They went to Colorado and did not play well and ended up getting a win there because, Trey White was good, but Melvin was the best guard on the floor in that game too.
Yeah. I also would like to say, do we want to pivot this conversation to the Darren Peterson conversation right now?
Yeah.
It's interesting that this is it's a necessary conversation no matter what.
Yeah.
We have to have it. I don't like having it. It's the narrative thing that I don't like talking about on Brackets, Bubbles, and Bit Stealers. But we have to.
Dude,
no, I do too. But the narratives that I like are Ed
part.
Cooley throwing water bottles, not Darren Peterson deciding or not deciding or whatever.
Game I'm going to go to this year is the one where Ed Cooley
apparently, apparently Ed Cooley is influential now because other people are throwing water bottles.
I mean, he's blessed.
Yeah, blessed to be throwing water bottles. Whatever it is. We're gonna get the Rosa to leave the show if we I'll say this.
Hey, that's sixth place in the Big East, Georgetown.
Damn right it is.
So bad. Terrible.
There is a 5-way tie for seventh. Providence, Butler, Xavier, Marquette, and DePaul are all tied for last.
Sam, I told you this. Marquette is winning the Big East tournament.
No, they have no sauce. I watched them play a full game against a Butler team without Stink, Jalen Jackson, and Jamie Kaiser. They are horrible. They are
all right.
terrible.
DeRosa, stay on track.
Yes. So, I think Kansas without Darren Peterson, I think is a team that is good enough to win the championship, but not good enough to be the champion. I mean, they just beat Arizona. That's a team that could win a title. I think Kansas with Darren Peterson is a legitimate title contender, but of course it is. Is the dude going to play? I mean, it comes out that he warmed up. He warmed up with the team and then didn't play. Like, come on, man. Look, is it going to affect his NBA draft stock? Not a lick, right? I mean, half the NBA just decides to sit out games when they just like, I'm not feeling it today. You just sit out. Or at this point in the season, I don't know if you guys are watching NBA, 60% of the teams are tanking. The Wizards won a game.
I don't know that, but Gary Parrish keeps telling me it on every episode of the Eye on College Basketball podcast.
Like I follow the NBA enough to know what's going on. The Jazz just sat their best players in the fourth quarter of a close game last night.
The Wizards the other day were playing the Pistons, and Sarr, the big French boy, he played 18 minutes in the first half. He played 3 minutes in the second half in a game in which the Wizards ended up winning. They sat him, just were like, you're not playing anymore. Why? They're tanking. Oh, no, Darren Peterson's going to sit. It's the NBA. They do that. We don't do that in college basketball. We got to push back on that. You play 30 games a year, man. You're getting paid a ton. Maybe he was really sick, but I think he's lost the benefit of the doubt with how the way he handled the calf stuff. And what was the game at the end of the game? Was it the Texas Tech? It wasn't Texas Tech. What was the game where he just didn't play at the end?
It was the TCU game.
Yes.
Where he took himself out of the game.
Then went back in, made 3 free throws to send it to overtime, and then just didn't play in overtime.
This is different to me because it's one thing to be hurt and don't get me wrong, being sick sucks. Having the flu sucks. But I'm sitting here and it's he's out there for warmups. So clearly, they're not worried about him being contagious.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have been there. On Sunday, I'm coaching and we got a break in between games, and I'm watching this fourth grader that I know who is extremely sick, coughing, looks like he's gonna faint, throw up. He's playing sick. Why can't this kid?
Yeah. Seriously, I mean, he did it was the BYU game too. He only played 20 minutes, and again, you were looking at a team where Darren Peterson just decides when he's available, when he's not. Melvin Council, when is the last time that dude has ever quit on a damn team? When is the next time he ever will? I guarantee you it's never fucking happening. That's just not who he is. I mean, at some point, you're so talented, and by God, I love watching Darren Peterson play. I really do. But we got to stop this. Like it's really annoying just deciding when he's going to play and when he isn't. It is annoying.
At this point, like right now, we have acknowledged on the show and continue to talk about it when Michael is here and when he's not here. Kansas with Darren Peterson can win a national championship. They can go win 6 games in a row. Yeah, that's a large pool this year. But right now, like it is what it is. Like right now, Darren Peterson is trending to be one of the biggest what ifs in college basketball history.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Just some quick other notes from tonight before we get into some weekend stuff that we didn't talk in depth about. Michael Brown Jr., who today I learned his dad's name is not Michael Brown Sr.
So is he then named after his grandfather or like his uncle?
Then it wouldn't be Junior, would it? Anyway, he scored 45 points tonight. Ryan Conwell had 31. Louisville scored its most points in a game in the KenPom era with 118. Its biggest conference game in terms of points per possession at 1.47. Made 60% of its threes, 18 of 30.
I think it was 7 at one point. So
yeah, Conwell and Brown combined for 15 for 22 from 3. Yeah, and NC State
got up like 4 threes.
Yeah, made only 4. So that's just it's a heck of a statement win for Louisville. Top 15 in KenPom, 8-4 in the ACC is not ideal. That's not even putting them in the top 5 of the ACC standings right now.
I think it could be worse.
But
I mean, they're
I think
a game back of Carolina.
Yeah, I think they're
who now is like the god among gods.
Well, Carolina's 7-3, so it's a little weird with the standing there.
I mean, they go they're scheduled to end the season. It's actually kind of tough, Louisville's.
And they've already played twice.
Because they have to go to SMU, North Carolina, Clemson, and Miami.
Yeah.
So yeah, like not an easy schedule whatsoever.
And they're gonna have to play a Syracuse team that like has definitely quit.
I mean, like who's even gonna be on that Syracuse team on March 3rd?
Red Autry may play himself.
Is Autry gonna have benched the entire team?
Yeah.
Is Noah Lobdell gonna be starting?
Like I said last night, Sam. Like you haven't heard anything about Hakeem Warwick's kid being benched.
All right. Other stuff from tonight: UNC Wilmington. I watched this game on the second screen, start to finish. Man, they did not take their foot off the gas at any point in this game. It felt like they were getting kind of what they needed to on their possessions. They pulled away, they pulled away, only ended up winning by 12, but they were up 19 in this game. They were up double digits at halftime. Greedy Williams made some big shots to take them into half, and Charleston, which had won 5 in a row, loses at home. These two will play again on March 1st in a game that could end up being a decider for the league title.
Sam, with all due respect, you're way overthinking this. Charleston lost this game last night when their coach was tweeting about how bad the Super Bowl halftime show was.
Apparently, he's there was a quote
just
from
ginormous Kid Rock fan. I saw that.
Kid Rock, like what the fuck? But also,
I didn't know that like ginormous Kid Rock fans like existed.
Ball with the ball, to bang, diggy, like the boogie.
All right, DeRosa. All right, DeRosa.
The one thing with
this is why we bring him on.
Yeah.
This is why he's the bubble of the year. Nobody else is giving you this.
My name is Kid.
All right.
Charleston is a terrible jump shooting team. They're just a really bad jump shooting team. And I think that's just going to be their kryptonite versus I watched actually a lot of the UNC Wilmington game when they played William and Mary on Thursday. They did not really have answers for that zone, and they could not get a stop in that game when like they needed to. So like William and Mary shot 11 of 23 from 3. So in this one, defense is much better, mainly because Charleston just cannot hit a jump shot. I mean, I didn't watch this game, so you would be able to tell me, Sam, but I mean, they made 5 threes in this game. Of their points, 19 of their 64 came at the free throw line. That's what, 30%, a little under 30%.
Yeah. Navy is now 12-1 in the Patriot League. Aiden Kehoe had 26, 12, and 5 with 2 blocks and 3 steals. Their Navy's got 20 wins. It's the program's first 20-win season since 2022. They are on, which is honestly not as long as I thought it would have been, but they are on pace for
They beat
a Patriot League title. They are 3.5 games up on Colgate for first place in the Patriot League.
They play them Saturday.
Yeah,
They actually
that
play
will
them 2
be
more times though.
Yes, they have not played Colgate yet. So Colgate does have a chance. Sorry, 2.5 back. 2.5 back. So Colgate does have a chance. If they can beat Holy Cross this week, they will be 2 games back. And they have a chance to move to 1 game back if they can beat Navy as well this weekend. So both teams do still control their own destinies if they both win out. But Colgate beats Navy twice. Colgate will be the regular season champion and hosting.
Is it still too early for control your own destiny talk?
No, I don't think so. Not in the Patriot League with like 5 games left.
I only asked this because Gavin Wurzberger texted me last night that Mizzou controls their own destiny in the SEC.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Well, I mean, if they win every single game and then they win the conference tournament, they've controlled their own destiny there.
This is true. Every team still controls their own destiny, except for Utah Valley, apparently.
Indiana beats Oregon. I think kind of the storyline here is obviously Lamar Wilkerson scoring 41, but the other storyline to me here is that Oregon's 1-12 in the Big Ten.
They got any middle back, so they're coming back.
1-15 against top 100 teams.
Biddle or not, this team might be worse than Penn State at this point.
Well, we'll learn that this week. They play Penn
they
State
do
on
play
Saturday.
I mean, that I don't mean
the greatest game ever played.
Dude, I will be texting about coaching mismatches during that game in the group chat.
Shout out to Northern Iowa for the blowout win over Murray State. Shout out to Bradley Jaquan Johnson for the overtime win over Belmont. Alex Ubrixi made a big shot to tie it. And they forced a turnover for a bad Belmont possession at the end of that game.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a shout out to Arkansas Pine Bluff, which has now won, I believe, 5 in a row to move to 8-3 in the SWAC. And Bethune-Cookman is in first place in the SWAC, 8 wins in a row. All right, Jonathan, let's move on to the weekend.
Not calling, not calling upset watch or anything like that, but Bethune's like the last 16 seed I would want to have to play in the first round.
I mean, they almost beat Auburn in the first game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also lost to St. Louis by
they're like
59.
They're extremely talented for a SWAC.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're not going to beat a team that can execute anything, but a team that's just out there and running chaos, they could take that team.
Bruce Pearl was like crying on the TNT set when, Steven needed overtime to win his first game against these teams.
All right, let's talk about the weekend, Jonathan. Would you like to start with kind of our more detailed discussion of Carolina Duke?
Yeah, we can. I mean, UNC just executed better down the stretch. Like one of
they
the
did what, Jonathan?
Huh?
They did what, Jonathan?
They executed. They executed better. I mean it. Like Duke ran out of stuff to run. Like this Duke team is very good. Don't want to take anything away from them. I think they're a fantastic team. They're certainly a national title contender. They certainly could get to a Final Four. But I think their lack of shot creation is their kryptonite. Like I've said it all year that John Shire has to run so much stuff to get guys open for this team. And he's a really good X's and O's coach and does that consistently. And this defense is still really, really good. But I don't think that they have like a ton of perimeter shot creators. So when Cam Boozer is not scoring inside, there's not a lot of guys you can go to say, hey, go get us a bucket. Especially on an Isaiah Evans off night.
Yeah. It would lock down my machine, like it would really slow it down, so I cannot pull it up now. But like I remember looking at the box score for this game. I watched the entire game, right? But like just looking at the box score, and you can see in the first half, like if you can go on the stat brackets, you can go first half, second half. In the first half, like Dame saw 4-4 from the field. Like it's just such a diversified. Like everyone got multiple looks, made multiple shots, and all that. Then you look at it in the second half, and it's Cam Boozer made 7 shots, if I remember correctly. I think Isaiah Evans had 2, and then it was like 2 other guys had 1, and that was it. Like Dom Isar 1 of 2, 4-4 in the first half, 1 of 2 in the second. Just nobody else got shot attempts but Cam Boozer. And I think that really goes to Jonathan's point that they just don't have the individual creation that you run offense in the first half and you can run all this stuff. But when a play breaks down, it's just got to be Boozer. Like they don't have a second option. And just the offense completely restricted to just being Boozer. Like I think he was 7 of 15, and I think the rest of the team combined was probably like 4 of 13.
Can I also say that now each of Duke's last 6 losses, they have had the ball in their hands down 1 possession in the final 15 to 30 seconds and have not gotten the basket they've needed. And it partially because of kind of running out of stuff in this game particularly. You look at that and they just kind of have to go Boozer ISO. I would have wanted them to do like something, just like give me something. Don't just put it all on him to get to the basket. I'm not saying take the ball out of his hands. I'm just saying maybe get it to him in a creative way.
Run some dummy action even off the side. Like just do something else to have at least a little bit of movement, because it's the same, broadly speaking, it's the same look every time. It's you want to get the guy to the middle of the floor in an ISO with everything flattened out. And Cooper went to his left a bunch. They ran like the Cooper going left. They did that a couple bit last year. I think Boozer went right in this one. He went middle, and then I think he's...
Have they had any, for any of these times, has Boozer or Cooper ever kind of come off the wing?
No, it's really been like just through the middle. Yeah, it's a middle ISO pretty much.
They isolated him on the left side, Cooper on the left side in the Houston game.
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
He got a good look, but
it was a good look. Yeah,
missed it.
Just didn't fall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like Boozer got a good look. Like he got, like he can make that. Like
I think what's interesting is like, I understand, like, you know, the criticism, like, you know, do something a little more complex, do something different.
And you're also Duke. Like, no matter what, you're going to get criticized, right?
Yeah. I think the interesting thing is, though, that, like, the people who have these criticisms, you know, the harsher criticisms, are the people that think that, like, the shot Duke should get should be wide open. Like, you don't get, like, very many wide open looks on sets in college basketball. Like teams are just too good,
especially in this situation late in the game where you know they're going to be switching. You know that you're not getting anyone to just have an immediate advantage, and you can't just generate a good look. Like even we've talked about UConn's complex offenses. Even UConn has had like some moments in games like this where they stall out offensively and can't get an open look on the last play of a game. Like,
I mean,
it's hard to generate offense in do or die situations.
Oh, like, absolutely.
Defenses play that much harder.
Yeah, and they're just more keyed in. And like in a situation like this, you really know Duke's going to one guy because that's who they have. No one else has done anything, and they don't have a ton of shooting. Like, I mean, they're a fine shooting team, but like if they have a weakness, I would say Duke's weakness would be perimeter shooting. And UNC is a good interior defense. They're a bad perimeter defense, but they're a good interior defense.
And the other problem with, like, you know, you can run more complex actions, sure, but like the problem is if you're gonna live or die with the set, and we saw this last year when Duke played Kansas. Kansas blew up a set that Duke was trying to run on their final possession, and Duke had nowhere else to go, and like, you know, didn't get a look off.
See, if your coach was any good, what he would do is he'd run the flex and get his center and double to win the game.
Yeah, and look, I think from an overall perspective, I have less concerns about Duke than I did at this time last month, because I think the defense has rounded back into form.
Yeah, for sure.
Ever since kind of that second half against Louisville, and then at the SMU, since the Western trip, really, they've been playing a lot better on the defensive side of the ball. They're up to the number 3 defense in the country. They force a ton of turnovers. They are aggressive without fouling. They have obviously Malik Brown and Boozer and just a ton of playmakers. Dame Sarr can shut you down. But Carolina, I mean, they just made one more shot in this game.
On the UNC side of this, like, you can talk about all the reasons they won. Like, Duke fans have, not me, but other Duke fans, have been complaining about officiating, and Caleb Wilson was phenomenal. Derek Dixon had some great moments. Obviously, Trimble was really, really good as well. But I think the single biggest reason that UNC won this game is because they effectively took Pat Ngongwa's impact out of the game.
Yeah, totally.
Dame Sarr can guard any perimeter player in the entire country, but Pat Gongba is the best defender on Duke, and he played 16
He's the
minutes
most important defender.
Huh?
He's the most important defender because of what he can do against.
Yeah, you can switch with him. He can hedge ball screens. He's physical.
And I thought Vasar was the best player on the floor in the last 10 minutes of this game, as I said last night.
I would say that was Wilson.
I think it was Vasar.
In the last 10 minutes, maybe. Like Caleb Wilson had, given the circumstance, like one of the best games of anyone this season.
Oh, it was so impressive. He's terrific.
Like, got to the line a couple times the first half. Every shot he made felt like tough. Like he was contested, like he was well guarded, and he was making them anyway. Like, Duke threw multiple guys at him, like it didn't matter. He's evolved into, like, he was really good at the start of the year, but he has evolved into a different level of player in the last month.
Yeah, this is the nation's leader in dunks. He scored 23 without a single dunk against the best team he's faced thus far.
Yeah. And if I can also do a bit of a Rothstein stat.
Go.
Yeah. In games where North Carolina's played Derek Dixon more than 20 minutes, they're 10-1 this year. # Rothsteining.
Yeah. What would that be? 9-3 when they're not, when he doesn't.
Yeah.
I think like that's just.
I mean, he's playing more, and they've looked better as of late. They went at UVA and won, and then they beat Duke. Just getting him on the floor over Keon Evans, I think, has changed a lot, because I think.
Oh yeah, totally. Keon Evans is like out of the rotation.
When in doubt, go get the DMV guard.
Yeah, works.
When in doubt.
Yeah, typically works.
That was 100%. Lidskin knew exactly the angle I was going for. He beat me to it.
He had an 86 O rating last night, and it felt like he was like so important to what they did down the stretch.
The late 3 he hit was just, crucial.
He's also just like incredibly smart. Like, always feels like he makes the right play.
Yeah.
Which one do you guys want to go to next? There's a couple more big ones from Saturday.
Someone stopped me from saying that Houston's the best team in the country at this point.
I will stop you. Two things with the Mormons, actually. For the most part, we say teams are like really good second half teams. That's just kind of like the thing when like a team like Seton Hall this year, like they just come back and like win games, and it's like, all right, sure, you won that one. Yeah. BYU is
not on Saturday.
Not on Saturday, no. BYU is a first half team.
We'll talk Seton Hall shortly.
BYU is just so much better in the first half than the second half, and I don't have any logical reason why.
No, they're not.
Am I tripping?
They are quite literally like one of the best second half teams ever.
At least in the bigger games that I can remember. Like, they were good in the second. They were really good in the second half against Kansas, against Clemson, against.
They were down like 20 against Arizona, and they came back and made that a game. They were down by 20
they just
against
like
UConn,
no
and
show.
they made
I
that
feel
a
like they
game.
almost no show.
They were down by 20 against
20 minutes.
Clemson, and they won that game.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm an idiot. Take that point away. I'm not gonna lie. Respect.
That's gonna go against your bubble of the year case.
Shit. Oh, fuck!
To
I'm
be
getting
fair,
popped.
he's got a pretty big margin for error right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree. But BYU in this game, 13 of 31 inside the arc.
Houston they had 13 offensive rebounds. I felt like 8 of them came in the last 5 minutes of this game. Not exaggerating, obviously, but like all of them were late rebounds. Like they didn't have anything until late. They just grabbed every single rebound.
And like a lot of them, I feel like were weird. Like they were off like long misses where like, the actual box out doesn't do anything because the shot is so bad. Like it did not feel like, BYU outplayed Houston on the glass in this and like out physicaled them. It felt like quite the opposite, actually. It felt like BYU had to do like everything possible to like, create good shots and and score the basketball. And meanwhile, like Houston was just like really patient, physical as usual. Kingston Fleming's just any big moment he answers the bell.
Jonathan, this was Houston's 4th worst defensive performance of the season. And it felt like they controlled this game defensively.
Yeah, I never really thought they were going to lose like one time. And like that's kind of been the case with every Houston game in the last like 2 months almost, except for that Texas Tech one on the road.
Yeah, I mean, they looked iffy in players era.
Very iffy.
But they went home and they figured out that Kingston Flemings was their best player, and they haven't looked back.
Mm-hmm. And it just doesn't bother me, like, if you're looking at a March trajectory, it doesn't bother me that like Houston's leaning on this freshman point guard because, I mean, he's so freaking clutch, like every single time.
If there's ever going to be a year where a freshman point guard or a freshman is like the best player on a national championship team, like it's the year of the freshman. Like
Nigel James, to Jonathan's point.
But that's the other thing about this right now. Like, are we going to have like that kind of like last year? It was like the year of the SEC, and the SEC wins the national championship.
Yeah. No, they had a terrible March, I was told.
This year, they had a terrible baseball tournament as well. But
unbelievable.
Yeah, is this just going to be the year of the freshman, and a freshman best player wins the national championship?
Maybe. I mean, you certainly have...
That's kind of my Bill Simmons narrative ball.
You certainly have the contenders for it right now. I mean, Duke's best player.
Illinois.
Duke's best player is a freshman. Illinois' best player is a freshman.
Yeah, I'm just going down KenPom. It's Iowa State's best player is not a freshman. Florida's best player is not a freshman. I could even make the argument UConn's best player at this point is a freshman. Michigan State, but like...
If UConn wins the national championship, I think their best player will be a freshman.
Yeah. Then Michigan State, no. Purdue, no. Kansas, if he plays...
And if they're not a national title contender, if he doesn't.
I've said it a billion times. Like I love this Michigan State team. Absolutely cannot see them winning a national title.
No, I can't either. But
I just don't see them winning 6. Like the offense just isn't good enough.
Out physical a younger team to get to the Final Four, sure. But like, I don't think they can win 6 games in a row in this year of college basketball playing that way.
It's not only is it defense wins championships, but offense gets you there. It's also offense wins championships, but defense gets you there.
I think if Michigan State's going to do it, they're just going to have like they would have to like really like muck up a game like to get to the Final Four, and then they just show up to the Final Four and they just somehow shoot 60% from 3.
Like now, Michigan State, 1.2 points per possession against Illinois.
Fears is such a gamer. I love him. Yeah. I don't care that he's tripping people. I love him.
He's the dirtiest player in college basketball, but like. Kind of like it.
You can admit how like unethical his game is, and like also acknowledge how good he is at the same time.
Jonathan, is he your Big Ten player of the year still?
Yeah, I think so.
He totally outplayed Wagler in this
I don't
game.
think there's a single player in the country that's more important to their team than he is.
Absolutely not.
Sturts.
Who?
Starts.
True.
That's fair. But like 26, 15 assists in this game. Like he's not the same player. He's not as good, but like this feels like I haven't felt this way about a Michigan State point guard since like Cassius was there.
Can I just say that like this? It's been, how long has it been? A month since the last game that Kylan Boswell played. Not quite a month. This is their sixth game that he didn't play. And this was the first time that I felt like they actually missed him.
Yeah, I mean, they like the way Fears was navigating.
And this was a guy that earlier in the year I was calling their best player.
I think.
So I think
like
that
you,
just
like
kind
you
of
kind of
shows.
said, like we floated the idea out there about like, you know, hey, like, you know, what if he comes back and they're just like out of sync? But like they did need him, I think, in this game. Fears was torching them in ball screens.
I don't think he's going to be out of sync when they come back. I think it's going to be perfect sliding him off the ball next to Wagler and just giving them a defensive stopper.
I also think that, like, you know, if you're Illinois,
they need a defensive stopper.
I saw an Illinois fan say that, like, more than any of their wins, like this game made them feel like really good about their team because, like, you know, you are still down Boswell. Michigan State needs to come back at home and needs to take you to overtime with Keaton Wagler having a terrible game to beat you.
Is Boswell a good enough shooter to keep off the ball? Like, I kind of think he needs to be on the ball to be effective offensively in a sense. And like, if he's off the ball, I feel like he's like the guy teams are just going to pick on and rotate off of to like get in the lane help, because probably the best thing going for Illinois right now is, and I do agree with you that they definitely missed him in this game. Like, you needed a defensive stopper on Fierce, but I think the best thing going about them now is they can just run Wagler off ball screens. And I mean, you can't rotate off anyone because all the big white boys can hit shots.
Yeah. I also think the other thing about Illinois that is so unique is, like, Wagler, yes, by definition, he is their point guard right now, but like they also have, you know, 4 guys on the floor at all times that can sort of handle the ball.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, late in that game, I thought one of the smart things that Underwood did, despite the loss, was, like, you know, they gave David Mirkovic the opportunity to handle the ball, and he had some really good late possessions for them. Like, you can do that with, you know, Tomislav as a trigger man. Stojakovic obviously can handle the ball and get to the rim. So that's what I think, like, makes them so unique, is like you can hunt other teams' defenders because you have so many ball handlers on the floor.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And on the Michigan State side of things, just again, like, the glass battle in this game. If they win it 48-38, they only turned it over 8 times. And I know that they attempted fewer shots than Illinois in this game, but the margin wasn't significant in that element. It was 71-67 in that department. So they were able to win on the glass, which is obviously their whole thing. And I mean, Illinois is a great rebounding team as well, but Michigan State, I feel, is just a level above that in terms of the interior physicality. And they were able to.
I really like what Jackson Kohler's become this year.
Ah, man, he's been awesome.
Like, adding that pick and pop element to his game has been really important for them.
He's the guy they go to when they need a 3 late.
Yeah.
Which,
seriously,
I don't know how I feel about that.
That's not great, but it also is a test.
I think that's kind of Kurt Tang, like, comes through with a big 3 late in this game. Yeah. It's like,
well, I should say now, especially because Ugo Chukwu is out for the season.
Yeah, like, also, I just don't see this team, like, scoring on those big possessions like enough times in a row in March. But like, they are going to be a really difficult. Like, somebody's going to beat them, but they're not. But it's not going to be easy.
Also, independent of like all of those thoughts, I could not believe some of the shots that Cohen Carr was taking late in regulation of this game. Like, what are you doing, dude? You were out there to play in transition, catch lobs, and play defense and rebound.
With your left hand.
Yes. Like,
If Cohen Carr's right hand is involved in basketball action, it is probably not something he should be doing.
Yeah, he is a very impactful player on both ends of the floor, for better or for worse. But like, what the hell was he doing late in regulation of this game?
I also want to go.
I feel like we've kind of talked a little. Like we're propping up Illinois and kind of knocking down Michigan State after a game that Michigan State won.
I was literally just going to say, I thought Jordan Scott was terrific in this game.
Yeah,
like I think they found something with him.
Yeah,
I mean,
their freshmen are good. Like him and Ward.
I thought he was like truly terrific. Like, I mean, he did end up fouling out, but he was the guy they had on Wagler for the most part, and he really took Wagler out of what Wagler wanted to do. Like
Ward is not there offensively. Like,
not yet.
Close.
No,
like not close, but like he's such an energy guy. And then Scott, what he was able to give them, what he's been able to give them offensively the last couple of weeks is a different player.
I've been really impressed with Scott lately. Ward is just such an Izzo player.
Yeah,
he goes out there and competes his ass off defensively, knows his role.
And in 2 years, he's going to be like just a guy who's just getting offensive rebounds, just making layups, and is just a fiend in the mid-range.
Yeah, I love this Michigan State team, despite the fact that like I don't think they're winning a title.
Yeah, they're so much fun.
They're just like this is what Tom Izzo teams were made of.
Yes, it's so awesome.
A stud point guard running the show.
It's easy to forget that Jeremy Fears
a bunch of dudes that just know their role.
Yeah,
it's easy to forget that Jeremy Fears is only a sophomore.
He's oh my god, yes, he is.
He's got two full years of eligibility still because of what happened to him his freshman year. Which, you know, Gus Johnson, whenever he's on a game, cannot wait to point out.
Braden Frager does not wait to point it out either.
Okay. At the end of this game, when Wagler got the steal late, they're down 6. Wagler hits that prayer 3, and then he gets the steal late. Did you guys think that ball was going up? Because I thought if Wagler, he gets the shot, and then he gets the ball, and then he steps back to take a shot in the corner. I thought that ball was going up, and I'm not going to lie. I thought the thing was going in. I thought no matter what he threw up there, I thought that shit was going in.
Yeah, I don't know why he gave it up.
Yeah, I think he thought someone was more open than they were. I thought if he put that up.
If you go watch the play, Michigan State did do like a really good job recovering.
But, yeah, they did.
All right, let's talk a little Kentucky, Tennessee. Kentucky comes from 14 points down, a third miracle comeback of the year for Kentucky. They came back to beat LSU after being down by 18. They came back to beat Tennessee from down 17 earlier in the year. They also came back they came back in this game from down 14 to beat Tennessee, sweeping Tennessee, moving to 8-3 in the SEC, completely flipping their season narrative on its head.
Can I throw the dirtiest of all darts right here?
Yeah.
Go.
I'm calling my Kentucky shot right now. My full-on Kentucky shot.
Oh God.
They continue to end the season fairly well. They get a 6th seed in the tournament, and everyone's hyped and picking them to go to the Sweet 16 because they have so much talent, this and that. And they play San Diego State in the first round and they lose. I'm in exacta. I'm taking an exacta.
All right. Write that down.
San Diego State in the first round.
You should be able. Honestly, with Calsh, you probably can bet on something like that.
No. You have to be very specific. It is not a bet.
Predict. It's a prediction.
Hashtag ban Kalshi.
However, Kalshi, if you want to pay me, I'll take the money.
I will not. I will not take.
I'll take the back.
So in the first half,
the Rosa can be corrupted. I could probably be corrupted, but probably not by Kalshi.
The first half of this game, Gillespie and Ament were just getting whatever they wanted, and Kentucky really had no answer. Which, like, if Nate Ament is playing, well, there's not a lot of ways to stop him because he's 6'10" and like can get a shot off over anyone. So
I went at Kevin Sweeney for putting Nate Ahmed like 4th in his big board. And since then, he's been terrific. And before then, he was terrible. And I don't want to say it's my fault, but it is entirely, you're welcome, Nate Ahmed. I've saved you.
Early in the year on this pod, like whenever he played a good team and like played bad, which was a regular occurrence, Sam and I were just like, we would do a live read of the efficiency stats against tier A and B opponents, and they were not good. He has become much more comfortable and completely turned his season around. Unfortunately, like this Tennessee team just doesn't have enough outside of him and Gillespie offensively.
No, not even
at all.
close.
I don't trust this team.
And Kentucky in the second half.
Wait, shout out JP Estrella for being better offensively, but like,
I mean, he was 4 of 13.
4 of 13 in this game. Like he didn't have it in this game.
Yeah, and like down the stretch here, like Ortega Owe is making plays. Like,
can I also say, like, finally Ortega Owe has like become good over the last couple of weeks?
It's been since they've just moved Aberdeen on the ball, and like Aberdeen's kind of found enough on the ball to where he can get Owe off the ball, and Owe can just be Owe.
Yeah. Aberdeen's also shooting 37.5% from 3 now.
Yeah, 39% in conference play,
Which helps.
Getting to the line more in conference play.
Yeah, I mean he
SEC
had it in him. He just
Can I also just like kind of quick mention like Okpara only played 11 minutes in this game. Didn't play well.
Winnick said it last Friday. Estrella's like better than him, straight up.
Yeah, we'll have to see kind of how this situation develops throughout. But yeah, Kentucky looking significantly better than it has than it did earlier in the year. Colin Chandler made. Colin Chandler is shooting 43% from 3 in SEC play.
I don't know if it's like, so much of them looking like that much better than they did early on. Like they haven't played the same level of teams that they did early. Like Michigan State would be the best team that they've played so far in the SEC.
Yeah, and Michigan State ran them though. Like the game was over.
You could argue
they were down, but they were down 20 to Louisville. They were down 20 to Michigan State. They were down. They did not go down by that much against North Carolina, but they didn't score for 10 minutes and they lost by 40 to Gonzaga.
Look, I think Michael's right that like this is going to be like the trendy 6 seed that people pick to make the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. Or maybe even a Final Four, depending on how risky you're going to get. But I still kind of feel like this team could lose to just about anybody.
I don't trust them. Like
where are they in the bracket matrix right now?
They're a 7. Like the second.
Yeah, they're on the 7 line.
Yeah.
They're on the 7 line. Their next game is against Florida. Then it's Georgia, at Auburn, at South Carolina. They're projected to finish 11-7, 20-11.
They're going to end the season beating Florida, and people are going to be hyped up at them. That just seems so is going to happen. But like this is the same team to me. I watched them against Vanderbilt just get belted. That game was never competitive. They could not get a single good shot.
Look at the average 2-point distance in that game. Yeah. 9.4.
Like I still just do not trust this team a bit, and that was Vanderbilt without Duke Miles.
All right.
I still think I still think teams that can pressure them really hard are going to give them fits.
Yeah.
I still don't think their ball handler situation is great.
Aberdeen is good, but like he is not a true point guard. He is playing really well right now, but like I don't know how long that can continue.
I don't really have a ton of thoughts on Alabama, Auburn. Just don't think either of these teams plays any defense.
Yeah,
none of them do.
I'm not high on either of these 2 teams. Good for Alabama.
Winnick sent me a text with a photo that said like the Troy Akron now airing on ESPN News.
yeah. We went in depth on that. And now did I see that like right cell's hurt again for these guys?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, I mean like that's.
And Bediako can't play anymore, guys.
Yeah.
Like dare I say that's a good thing?
Yeah, I mean that means that big white boy Noah Williamson has to play more.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
I'm
good
like-
thing.
I don't think it's a good thing.
Just
I
like
know that like he was like minus 17 in his minutes. Like, no, I'm like they're not going to be better long term with Williams
Yeah.
and Bediako.
I think the rim rates, and I remember looking at it like top 100 games, and it was different. It was not like overall for the season, but like they're playing much better teams now.
like,
Yeah,
just like play,
kind of
just play 5 out and like let Phylon score 30. Like
That'd make for a fun
Yeah,
tournament game.
abandon defense and just like see if you can variance your way deep into the NCAA tournament like you did 2 years ago.
couple of other results
Like
to go over from this.
Hold on, Sam. Like that team 2 years ago was what? Like not even top 100 in defense. And like I know the college basketball as a whole was much weaker.
They were 67,
111.
I think.
They were 111 in defense. That team. That
Oh no,
was-
I'm thinking about this year. I'm thinking about this year. Yeah, they were 111
second in
2 years
offense,
ago.
111th in
And
defense.
I understand that, like, you know, they got a good draw, and you know that year in college basketball wasn't close to as strong as this year is. But like, just like play 5 out, get up your threes, and see if you can variance your way to an Elite Eight or something like that.
Some of the results that I want to talk about from this weekend. We kind of hinted at it earlier. Creighton 69, Seton Hall 68. Seton Hall blows a double-digit lead with 3 minutes left. Creighton didn't have Austin Swartz in this one.
Yeah,
And Seton Hall just like, man, this is
Go, DeRosa.
why do we have these availability reports? If guys just show up and they just decide, we're not playing today, change of plans.
Is there
we were listed as active. We're just I'm out.
has anyone seen like an actual fine? For,
No,
like one of
So
these.
They did this with Schwartz. Georgetown did it with Halafanua. I've seen other teams do it too. Like it's ridiculous. They did it with Darren Peterson today.
yeah, I mean,
Like
I also would like to say this game, if Bud Clark is taking 4 threes in a game, something is probably going very wrong.
I mean, he made 3 of them.
Yeah, but still, something is
Dude, when
probably
you watch
going
Seton Hall
very
play
wrong.
offense, everything is going wrong.
Seton Hall is now, Jonathan, 6-7 in the Big East. This was a team that was 14-2 a month ago. They are 2-6 in their last 8 games.
So they're gonna straight up miss the tournament, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
they are
definitely.
going to miss
That
the
is what
NCAA tournament.
happens when you were shooting 28% from 3 and 44.9% from 2 in league play.
44.9% from 2 is nuts.
And,
They have no
Would
offense.
also like to say, Najai Hines only played 7 minutes in this game.
I mean, he couldn't. There's no. I didn't watch any of this game. There's no way he could guard Trout in space. There's just
Not
no
a
way.
chance.
So
Not a chance.
I'm going to make a comparison here. If the Seton Hall team makes the NCAA tournament, they're going to get eliminated in very similar fashion to the way that they did in 2022.
Correct.
Like they won't
Just
get
blown
physically
out
beat
by
up, but they will get blasted in the first round.
They'll get.
I-
You know,
I-
if
I
I,
don't-
if
I
I
don't
actually,
know if they're
I'm
gonna get
do a Jonathan, but
blasted.
do it in
I-
reverse.
I-
They're going
I-
to get Virginia from a couple years ago. Remember when that Virginia team that everyone hated made this?
What when they scored like 40 points?
Yeah, that's what's.
I
Gonna happen.
don't know if they're going to get blasted, but they will
best
not
thing to come
score.
out of that-
But they will not score more than 53 points. They might not get blasted, but they will not score more than 53.
The best thing to come out of that Virginia game was like Jim Root tweeting that like Virginia looks like a team that is like doing like going over its offense in like practice. Like they're walking through it. Like nobody's actually looking to attack.
Seton Hall, now 1-4 in quad 1, 4-4 in quad 2, 4-0 in quad 3, 7-0 in quad 4. They are outside the top 50 in the net, in KenPom, in BPI, KPI, T-Rank, strength of record, and wins above bubble. It's just not an NCAA tournament resume.
If they want to make the tournament, they can only lose one more game the rest of the way.
You have to beat you have to beat UConn on the road or St. John's at home, probably both.
Yeah, I mean Butler on the road currently. I don't know what Butler's net is.
I mean,
might
you
be
can't take a
So
bad
here's-
loss.
Here's the thing though, like the way that, you know, the NCAA tournament and like the selection process is kind of set up now, like I kind of still feel like, like other high major teams can make errors and like they could still be there, with, maybe a slip up or two.
I'm rooting very strongly for bid stealers this year. Some of these teams in the bubble are terrible.
I just like don't. It just infuriates me, and like I'm someone that like at heart, like deep in the NCAA.
We cannot let Ohio State get into this NCAA tournament.
No, that's a team that like I think we can let them in because I think they actually like can beat someone good.
Yeah, but we cannot let them keep Jake Diebler as the head coach.
Disagree. Run it back.
Absolutely can allow that to happen. Ryan Day and Jake Diebler employed at the same school is like all some people ever wanted in life. But what I was saying is like I'm someone who wants like deep into the NCAA tournament. I want the best teams left. I want the best teams playing. But like I don't understand for the life of me why we need like a Seton Hall in the NCAA tournament over like this VCU team who is like clearly playing better than them. And like I know they have some bad losses, but like right now, like VCU, no doubt in my mind, is better than Seton Hall.
Yeah, I think VCU there. I mean, they have zero rim protection. Just
no, and they also don't like have like they don't have anything to like hang their hat on outside of the Virginia Tech win right now, and I guess the South Florida win. But like,
hey, they beat Rider by 21.
These mid-major leagues just need to get better, so like these teams could actually win important games.
Let New Mexico in the damn tournament over a good chunk of these teams. Like,
yeah.
They'll be fun. Keep Santa Clara in. What the hell? Why not?
Santa Clara is like trending towards definitely being in.
Yeah. Santa Clara's 38th in KenPom. If they didn't have that loss to Loyola, they would be a lock.
Yes, but they do.
Are we like sure they shouldn't be favored against Gonzaga this weekend?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like I know Gonzaga played a really, really, really bad game against Portland, but like I'm not. I'm not out on Gonzaga.
Great against Oregon State either.
Does that not scream a game where
1.46 points per possession, Jonathan?
They were like up 4 at halftime, Samuel.
Does that not
1.46 points per possession
scream a game where everyone's like getting kind of hyped up about Santa Clara and how like this might be the year someone not named Gonzaga wins the WCC, and then Gonzaga comes out.
But just want to correct you on something. Gonzaga has not won the WCC outright since 2022.
That's actually kind of crazy.
St. Mary's won the tournament once, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Mary's won it once. Well, they also won in 2019, but
I pick them every single year in the Jerome just because I know no one else will. And it's like, all right, St. Mary's. Yeah. I'm gonna get one over everybody.
That Tuesday night championship game. It's like watching Groundhog Day.
All right.
It feels like a game everyone hypes up Santa Clara and Gonzaga just opens up 20-4. And it's just like, well, this was always gonna happen.
The WCC tournament is like usually hilarious because it's just like we're waiting for like 4 days to get Gonzaga St. Mary's.
Hey, we were in on Pacific last year.
Last year, what Mo Odom did like in that tournament actually made it like interesting for the first couple of days. But like usually we're just like sitting here and it's like a good format.
Who was it that made the run last year?
It was Pacific. It was Pepperdine because Mo Odom was just like going off for 3 straight games.
And then 2 years ago, it was the Pepperdine Pacific game, the greatest ever played.
That was next level comedy.
I think Jonte Porter announced he was transferring at halftime of that game.
No, it was it was the next game, the one that they lost.
It wasn't Jonte Porter, I'll tell you that much. He was doing something else.
Javon Porter. Get me some other thoughts on some of this stuff right now.
I have thoughts.
We've got George Washington, which is now 4-7 in the A10. Losers of 4 in a row.
They lost that game on Saturday. I sent a certain tweet in our group chat.
Yeah, this is getting dire. Like them without Rafael Castro is like really, really bad.
Boo Benjamin didn't play in this game too, if I remember correctly. He was hurt, at least going into it. They have no front court. Yeah, like they're not very good.
I'm like begging them to fall off a cliff and finish out of the top 100 in KenPom because they were like the most probably obvious team that should have been in my top 100 preseason and weren't. and they're 83rd right now. So within striking,
83rd at 13-11.
yeah, not good.
They have been a team I've faded a lot and made some coin off of.
Murray State now out of the top 100 in Ken Palm quite easily.
Yeah. We've
That's what
got
happens.
They can't shoot.
we've got a bunch of other stuff to go over. Our boys at IU Indy got a win on Saturday. They are now 3-11 in the conference. They are 3-3 in their last 6 games. Are they playing good enough basketball to make a run? Who knows?
No.
No.
But they'll have fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're the most fun. They're the most fun team in the country. The most watchable team in the sport. Couple other games that we need to discuss at some point here. You've got Oklahoma and the Vanderbilt game. Just that's kind of a big result. Vanderbilt now 6-4 in the SEC. Almost made a furious comeback. Almost ended up winning this game.
Oklahoma did everything to blow that.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma, after a 9-game losing streak, goes to Vanderbilt and wins.
I love basketball. It's such a stupid sport. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Vandy has, I thought with that Kentucky win, they got back on track, but clearly not.
They need Duke Miles back yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think
Texas has all of a sudden won 3 games in a row against teams that aren't any good, but they have won 3 games in a row. And they're 34th in KenPom, which means they are in position to
be in
make
position.
the NCAA tournament right now.
I'm just out on Texas as a program. I need 3 years to get removed from the Rodney Terry era.
good offense, terrible defense, bust. Swain's fun basketball sport.
They just cannot stop following people on defense.
Yeah.
And then anything else you want to talk about? I would like to mention that App State got another win. They have won 6 in a row. They're 17-9, 9-4 in the conference. Obviously, that was not a conference game this weekend against Eastern Michigan, but our Mountaineers are making a run for it.
Speaking of teams that we need to collectively decide to get out of the NCAA tournament, UCF lost by 20 to Cincinnati on Sunday.
That was
just terrible.
I mean, it was always inevitable. This UCF team just was with this ragtag group of just oddballs was always going to eventually just hit a wall, and
you could literally let Canisius be a 9 seed and play them as an 8 seed, and I would take Canisius out of spite.
If you go and look at efficiency margin change since January 1st, the top 5 in the country, NJIT is number 1. That is 8-2 in the America East NJIT.
This is just random offshoot. This is the worst America East I've ever seen. This
It is not even close. It is the worst America East by a mile.
We used to watch gods play in this league.
Ryan Davis not walking through that door. UTRGV is plus 7.08. 8 wins in a row, now 10-6 in the Southland. Big one on Saturday at home against Stephen F. Austin. So year 2 for Khalil Fennell going pretty well at a spot that
Stephen F. Austin's inevitable. Don't doubt them, Fetterman.
We'll have to see. Number 3 is UIC at plus 6.6. Even though they have lost 2 in a row, 8-6.
Both excusable losses, in my opinion.
And then next, Arkansas Pine Bluff, which I mentioned earlier. And then Central Arkansas, plus 6.26.
Cameron Fletcher, former Butler commit. Hell yeah.
Cameron Hunter.
Hunter, yes. Cameron Fletcher is
High Point.
High Point, thank you.
The dude who was a 5-star, right?
Yeah.
10-2 in the
Savior High Point.
10-2 in the A-Sun, beat North Alabama today. Your boy Cam Hunter had 28 points on 12 shots.
Damn. Good for him.
Yeah, he's good.
Hilarious career arc, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, a couple other teams to shout out in this discourse. Drexel, 7-5 in the CAA, but plus 5.87 in this span. And then just want to go to the bottom of this list and talk about teams that maybe haven't been doing very much. North Alabama, UTSA, VMI, Incarnate Word,
God,
Western
UTSA
Illinois.
is so gross.
VMI is horrible.
I haven't seen them, but like UTSA,
Keep it that way.
UTSA lost by like 25 to North Texas.
All right, Jonathan, you want to take us home unless you have anything else?
Do we want to talk about Miami going on the road and beating Marshall by 20? Like,
No,
No,
we don't
about
acknowledge
that.
that.
okay.
Tomorrow night we may or may not have a podcast episode.
Yeah, we'll see.
Some big games. Just want to get some quick thoughts if you want.
I'm always
we've
in
got
thoughts. Sam.
Let's do
You
it.
know,
Vanderbilt at Auburn, Purdue at Nebraska, North Carolina at Miami.
Auburn will score 100.
Only 22 Division I games tomorrow.
Focus on a couple good ones. I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Fordham St. Joe's, biggest game of the day.
UNC will lose in the most obvious hangover game I've ever seen.
Okay, we're on the same page. I was going to say Miami beats them.
And they will give up like an unnecessary amount of threes while doing it.
But it's Miami.
I don't know, man. It's Miami. Who's
They
making those threes for Miami?
That's exactly why.
Malik Renew, corner threes, 3 of 3.
Oh God.
Purdue, Nebraska is especially interesting to me. Like, still, I still something about this Nebraska team just does not feel right to me. And like Purdue hasn't been playing exceptional either. So
Most and Frager were back. Okay.
Yeah, Purdue's next 5 games, by the way. At Nebraska, at Iowa, home Michigan, home Indiana, home Michigan State.
It's the dumbest shot.
we're gonna find out a lot about Iowa in these next couple weeks too, because like they got home games at against Purdue, Nebraska, and Michigan before this season ends.
And then they go to Nebraska, and they also go to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't like want to say they're a different team than the one that went to Michigan State and like totally sucked in that game.
No, I was talking with a friend earlier, and it's just like, and this is perfectly fine, by the way, but they feel like the most like, yeah, they're definitely going to win a first round game, but absolutely could not see them like beating somebody who's seated higher than them. Unless they get
Bennett Sturtz has been playing ridiculous basketball.
I mean, if you have a guard who can you're not going to stop him, but if you can limit Sturtz, I feel like you're going to beat him. But like, if you are just if the higher seeded team is just another team that wants to play similar to Iowa, like I'll take Sturtz over those people. And I know one of your guys' rules is teams win, not people. I want to pick
coaches win as well, though.
I mean, I think Iowa's a pretty good team. It's just that like Sturtz is like the only like legitimate scorer for them.
Sturtz is the team. Like we can be honest.
I mean, like I liked the role players that like they had last year at Drake that like came along with them. But like, yeah, like I mean, he goes for 38 and they beat Northwestern by 4.
All right, Jonathan, you want to take us home?
Yeah, I could do that. If you came to hear about Tyler Self and where he's working, you came to the right place. If you came to hear about running the late game flex, you came to the right place. And if you came to hear about the latest happenings with Caleb Grill, you came to the right place. This has been Season 6, Episode 81 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers, and we'll see you next time.